obviously everybody's got an opinion and think, well, he's not really doing anything, not fit to wear the shirt. You hear all these kind of things, but we don't realise what he's being asked, what job he's being asked to do.
Of that area that you just mentioned, you mentioned Bob Booker.
Yeah.
Now, Jamie Hoyland had twice as much ability as Bob Booker, let me tell you now. But Bob Booker's a Sheffield United legend, isn't he?
That's
just
right,
for
definitely.
winning a few headers and winning a few tackles.
Yeah. Going through your sort of like footballing journey, like you say from Wimbledon, and then obviously the other coaches you've sort of like they've sort of like coached you and managed you. Who sort of sticks out, as the coach who sort of like had a good influence on your career?
I've asked this question many times over the years, and I always say Graham Taylor. He, the late Graham Taylor, sadly passed away a couple of years ago. He was very good on the training pitch as well. He used to do virtually all the coaching. He had a couple of assistants, but he liked to come out there in his tracksuit and organise stuff, So
and get sort of like
and obviously, we had a great time at Villa. After I left Wimbledon in 87, we just finished sixth in the old First Division. So we'd had a fantastic season. But I chose to leave because I thought, I've achieved everything I could do at Wimbledon. So I left, and Winterburn left, Hodges left, Mark Morris left, came to Sheffield United actually. Quite a few players left, and my first season was Villa. They'd actually got relegated the season before, so my first season was a promotion season with Aston Villa, and I played 51 games every single minute of every game in that season. So, and that's until they've just got promotion now. That was the last promotion they'd had in 20 odd years, so that was quite special. And then, as I say, we had a season in the old First Division, and then finished runners up to Liverpool in 1990, and that culminated in Graham Taylor getting the England job.
Bassett, the manager, and you've got Hodges, like we've mentioned before, Bob Booker in his side, Gale, Little John, them type of players. There was a player called Jamie Hoyland, and no disrespect to Jamie, and as a kid watching him, I just didn't get it. I mean, obviously Bassett gave him instructions, and he probably did that to his best of his ability, but I just couldn't see Jamie Hoyland, being a Sheffield United player for me. And to me, I just didn't get it. What attributes did Jamie Hoyland actually bring to that?
Jamie, I mean, I've got to be careful. I'm a good friend of Jamie Hoyland. But Jamie Hoyland played... I need to Google him now, but he played 200 games for Bury, I think.
That's
and
right.
we paid a lot of money for him. I think we paid £250,000 for him. But yeah, I know what you mean. He was a box-to-box midfielder. He didn't particularly do anything brilliantly well. He's not going to do something to get you off your seat and beat two players and smash it in the top corner. But I think he's reliable. You do your job. He's quite a physical guy. He's about 6 foot.
Yeah, I can remember him being a bit.
He's a chunky lad. Yeah, and he's fit as a fiddle.
Yeah.
And he's a nice bloke as well. By the way, a really good bloke. He had a lot of history at Sheffield. Obviously, his dad, Tommy Hoyland.
With the boozer, is that right?
Yeah,
about the boozer.
He owned a pub in the area for 40 years, and Bassett could see him for what he was, And he wasn't an absolute regular, Jamie. He played a lot of games. He was in and out of the side. He changed the team around.
Yeah, because to be fair, to Jamie, it's like people tend to think, obviously everybody's got an opinion and think, well, he's not really doing anything, not fit to wear the shirt. You hear all these kind of things, but we don't realise what he's being asked, what job he's being asked to do.
Of that area that you just mentioned, you mentioned Bob Booker.
Yeah.
Now, Jamie Hoyland had twice as much ability as Bob Booker, let me tell you now. But Bob Booker's a Sheffield United legend, isn't he?
That's right,
for winning a few headers and winning a few tackles.
Yeah.
And in the team I played with, we had Paul Rogers,
that's right,
who came from non-league and played a lot of games for Sheffield United, and he'll be the first to admit that he was limited as a player. Came straight out of non-league, straight into the Sheffield United kind of first team unit, and played a lot of games. And then the one I always state is John Gannon, who used to get a lot of stick from the Sheffield United fans. But
he dug deep in
one of the best, technically one of the best footballers at Sheffield United in that era. Great left foot. He used to take the corners and the free kicks, and just not tall. I already spoke about 6 foot midfielders, but John's only 5'8" or whatever. But just keeping the ball moving and getting on the end of things, and little dinks over the
What sort of changes would you make, if there's any, to your sort of like career, to your journey as a professional? Any regrets or anything like that?
That's a big question, isn't it? On the one side, there's two angles to this, because I never played in an FA Cup final, and growing up as a kid, the FA Cup final was everything. You know, it was the main event of the whole season. And obviously, when I left Wimbledon in 1987, we just finished sixth in the old First Division, and I thought they'd reached a peak. Didn't think they'd win the league or win the FA Cup or anything. And of course, the next year they won the FA Cup. So although I was really pleased for them, you know, there's always a little part of me thinking, oh God, if I'd stayed there, I could have won the FA Cup. But again, I had the success of Villa, and I actually moved my career on from then. If I could change perhaps one thing, it would be my time at Villa came to an end a bit prematurely, because Ron Atkinson came in and just wanted to change everything and jettison a lot of first team players straight out of the squad, and basically stuck us in the reserves. I was just languishing in the reserves for 4 or 5 months before Dave Bassett brought me up to Sheffield. So I'd like to have been given a bit better opportunity to stay at Villa.
Obviously, they've got a situation going on now in the court, High Court, with the battle of ownership. Do you think that could have an effect on the ability to buy players?
All the budgets would have been sorted out 6 months ago, because you don't do these things off the cuff. They'll have had a budget for, let's just say, worked out in November, December. They'll have had a budget worked out for if they do get promotion, and there'll be a budget if they're still in the Championship. So I think it's two completely separate things. And as soon as we've obviously got promotion, that plan A comes into play, you know, as opposed to the Championship plan B. So I don't think the court case will affect anything. And I haven't been following it that closely, because it gets a bit complicated, doesn't it, to be honest? Yeah. But I get the feeling that whoever wins the court case is going to sell the club on anyway. So we all know that Kevin McCabe kind of has had enough, and rightly so, because he's been here 30 odd years or whatever it is. So you just hope that the next person that comes along has got the financial power to move the club forward again.
The system what Sheffield United employ, have they got the nous to unlock sort of the top end Premiership teams like your Man City's, obviously, and Man United?
I'm not going to sit here and say, we're going to take it by storm or anything like that, but I think we will surprise a few people with the quality of our play, because that was what was the key for me last season, is the sheer quality of our football that we came through and we delivered. What I think will also stand in good stead next season is our defence, because defensively we're very, very strong, aren't we? If we can get Dean Henderson, that's the icing on the cake. And I'm assuming if we can't, we're going to sign another top keeper. But that defensive unit, Basham, O'Connell, Egan, they're not going to give much away.
To Sheffield United, they've been linked with players. We'll talk about Valencia first. Available on a free transfer. Is that the sort of like type of play what needs to come in as cover? Because obviously Bulldog linked to Celtic as well.
Yeah. Well, when I first heard about Valencia, my immediate reaction was positive, actually. I kind of thought, do you know what, that wouldn't be too bad. I remember him as a right winger. He was an effective, direct, pacey winger. And then he moved to right back, which he did an absolutely fine job at right back. Again, solid, isn't he? Defensively sound. So a kind of mixture of the two as a wing back, I thought, perfect. The issue would be wages, of course. So we're assuming we can afford him, and assuming he's not going to ask for too much money. And then I thought, well, maybe as a right centre half, because we're looking at Chris Basham, who did a brilliant job last season, but we do need a bit of cover there. And I thought he could slide into that overlapping centre half role perfectly.
He certainly would have the pace, and from what I've seen of him, he's kept himself in.
This is the next thing, because when you get to 33 or whatever, and he's seen it, done it, and played for Man United, it comes down to desire and whether he actually wants to keep playing football and keeping himself fit and keep doing the work and etc., and take a bit of a wage cut, obviously. So does he want to play football at a decent standard for the next 2 years, or does he want to go to the MLS and have a couple of years in the sun with his family? It's a decision only he can make, isn't it?
Where do you think Sheffield United are going to end up?
Obviously, I'm not going to start saying, we're going to be top 6, we're going to be top 8, but I think we'll end up about 12th, 14th, something like I think we'll surprise a few teams, as I said, with the quality of our play. Home form is going to be absolutely crucial. Fans are going to be crucial, to drag us through, and they're going to have to be patient, because I think we're used to having quite a bit of possession, especially at home. And I think the opposition, certain teams, are obviously going to have far more possession than we will. But it's when we get possession, we've got to be bold in our approach and keep doing the things that have got us all this success over the last 3 years.
That's right.
Like a bit of Cavalier style and pushing men forward. And if our centre halves get the ability to go on their mazy overlapping runs, then let's bloody do it. We need some attacking players, and that's absolutely no disrespect on the ones we've currently got, because they've done fabulous.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But
totally agree.
Week in, week out in the Premiership, it's very quick. We need a bit more creativity, maybe. It's easy to say we need goal scorers, because how can you say that with the seasons Billy and Didsy's had? It's ridiculous, isn't it? And people keep writing Billy off year after year, and he just keeps producing the goods. So let's hope he does again. But we certainly need a bit more quality cover. If they're going to be the front two, then we certainly need better quality attacking options if they're not firing for whatever reason. And then Mark Duffy is another one. I mean, how long can he keep producing the goods? Because he's done brilliantly well. And me and Tony Curry always say pre-game every week, when Mark Duffy plays, we're happy, because he makes us play. So if we're going to look to have another option in there, it's going to be a damn good player to replace.
I mean, they're looking
Duffy.
at Dowell again, aren't they? Whether that's going to be a loan deal or whether that's going to be a full transfer, I'm not quite sure. Really.
I mean, he's not, I don't see him as a replacement for Duffy just at the moment. I think he doesn't take games by the scruff of the neck and make things happen like Duffy does. I think he's more of a float around player, isn't he? Getting on the end of things, maybe, because he's been used at wing back and all sorts.
That's
of
right.
places,
Still developing it as well.
Yeah. When did I think we were probably going to do it? I think after the Leeds away game, we beat them 1-0 away, and that was the turning point for me. We thought, Christ almighty, because we'd have gone there, we'd have settled for a point all day long, and to beat them. Then we had a couple of hiccups, didn't we? Bristol City at home. That's a massive hiccup.
Dropped a few points, yeah.
But it was the way we bounced back from some of those poor results, because I think we went to Preston straight after that, which is a really difficult place to go, and beaten 1-0. And we just kept going away and kept bouncing back from the odd, disappointing
and then got that momentum,
result.
kept it going. Leeds slipped again,
I kept looking at the fixtures, and I was on record. Somebody pulled it out from somewhere. I replied to him on a tweet. I said, I seriously think it's going to be all over and done and dusted at Ipswich at home. Don't think it's going to go to the last game to Stoke. I think we'll be up and sorted by then. And of course, as it turned out, with the whole City result, and then immediately followed by the Leeds losing to Brentford, that pivotal Sunday afternoon,
that was
whatever
a big
it was.
shock, that one, wasn't it?
That was a massive
result,
day, and that was basically it, because we were always going to beat Ipswich at home, weren't we? So that kind of did it.
Kevin Gage, thank you very much.
Pleasure
for your time. Really enjoyed it. Please join us again live when we'll be bringing in other guests to be mentioned nearer the time. Phantom Network Blades, FTN.